So you have conquered each and every planet and survived almost every battle. And you've unlocked everything the game has to offer. Well then, congratulations! You have successfully finished the early game. If you continue from here, a completely new world waits to be discovered. It's a world filled with gigantic star destroyers, 7-digit research facilities, interplanetary mining operations, and legendary everything. Get hold of the finest modules, inserters, biolabs, slaves, spider bros, and space frigates filled with unfathomable treasures. Welcome to the world of megabasing. Okay, now that we have this cringy intro out of the way, let's be a bit more serious. If you made it all the way through the vast tech tree of Factorio, or if you even have finished the game by reaching the edge of the solar system, you might have thought about or even tried building a megabase. And you probably experienced what can only be described as dopamine starvation. The pace of the game slows down and you feel overwhelmed by what lies ahead. Where to start? What to prioritize? When to scale up? And what? Help! This is the place where many players quit. But this is also, at least for me, where the best part of the game finally starts. In my 9,000 hours of Factorio, I have built multiple megabases, both before and after the Space Age expansion. What I enjoy most isn't the megabase itself, it's optimizing and theory crafting the path toward one and how to gain access to all the legendary items. In this series, I want to share that knowledge. I'll explain the do's and don'ts of the quality grind. This phase of the game, let's call it the transition into megabase phase, starts once I research the key technology, legendary quality, which requires all planetary sciences, including Aquilo. From now on, science production is secondary. My main priority becomes the quality grind. Up until then, I have most probably not touched any quality, so I usually start with absolutely no quality items at all. And this is what we'll take a look at in today's episode. How to get started with quality from absolutely nothing. Have you heard the ancient paradox? What came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, that's our paradox now. We need quality modules to make quality modules. Luckily, there is a simple design that we can use. Our very first quality gambler. It is built with normal quality items only. First, let's examine the rough numbers of raw inputs. We need approximately 9 green circuits per second, 5 blue circuits per second, 14 red circuits per second, and 25 superconductors, also known as blue sticks, per minute. We need to import those from Fulgore. And finally, this design requires 100 megawatts of power. Yes, quality designs tend to be very energy hungry. Now let's take a look at the recipe for the Tier 3 quality module itself. If we insert some basic quality modules, we can observe a production speed of 0.038 modules per second, or 2.25 per minute. Where this is bad, numbers need to go up, so we scale this up by a factor of 12. This array will now produce 27 items per minute. By a rough estimate, this is also the number of legendaries that our final design will produce per hour. It's a really nice rule of thumb to memorize. Quality module-based EMP gambling designs return roughly the same number of legendary items per hour as there are non-legendary items produced per minute. Next, we need 2 bells for the inputs, one on each side. And we also need an output belt. Let's put it at the very top, facing the opposite direction. Let's add some inserters. And yes, I'll fix the missing belt at the last machine later. One personal quirk is that I like to add memory cells to such gamblers to keep track of what has been produced over time. To do so, I quickly put down an arithmetic combinator and connect it to itself. I set the input to each, multiplied by 1, and set the output to each. Then I attach it to the output inserters and enable read hand contents with pulse. and copy it to all inserters of this array. Now the memory cell keeps track of the quantities and qualities of all items that will be produced. This is of course completely unnecessary, but I find it for some reason very pleasing to see these numbers go up over time. It is, as we will later see, also a nice data visualization of the quality gambling system. Next, let's take a look at the input materials again. There's only one intermediary product that we have to craft on site. Quality module tier 2. We need 1.2 per second. But one EMP produces just a whimsical 0.1 per second. Luckily, we don't need this with quality, so we can go crazy with the speed modules here. Let's add a second EMP, put some speed beacons in between, and add 4 additional speed modules into each machine. This should be more than fast enough. We can even add a cheeky tier 2 efficiency module to save 0.1% of total power, yay! Let's check the numbers again. These two machines produce just north of 1 tier 2 module per second. This totally fits our need of 1.2, since we will get a good fraction of them back when we recycle. The tier 2 modules need tier 1 modules, so let's add 2 machines for those below. This time we need massively more speed modules. 5 modules into each machine, plus a row of 4 beacons will give us an almost perfect ratio. Now let's hook up the input belts. Reds and blues need to go here. They also need to go down because we need the red circuits for the tier 1 modules and both circuits for our main array. The green circuits are only needed here and can be tunneled in from the side like this. The tier 2 modules are now being produced, so we've made no mistakes so far. Let's add output inserters and belt it all over. The last thing missing is our trusty blue sticks. Since they are most probably in our cargo landing pad somewhere completely else, we request them via robots. Every input has now been provided and the EMPs start producing modules, so we need to build the recycling array next. To process all the items, 6 recyclers are needed. If we would use just 5, the input belt would slowly back up, so 6 it is. And of course, we have to make sure that we only recycle modules of inferior quality. So we add a splitter and filter out everything that is better or equal than green quality. Although our final goal is legendary quality, we need to slowly work our way up. Let's also quickly add some storage chests for all the different types of quality modules we might get. We also want to eventually recycle all of those, if we no longer need them. So we add inserters, set their stack size to 1 and define a threshold of items that we want to keep, let's say 100. Our last chest will finally contain any legendary modules we create, which, as mentioned before, should be around 27 per hour. Let's add this as an info panel. Now let's start recycling all those junk modules and dump the result on a belt. We use a filter splitter to route all ingredients of normal quality to the right and everything else to the left. Oh, and before I forget, let's add some active provider chest for our filtered out modules. The robots will then do the sorting. Next, we need to sort this mixed belt with 4 different items back into their correct input lanes. The blue sticks can go first and will be put onto this belt, so they have priority over fresh ones. The tier 2 modules can join the existing belt like this and get input priority as well. Finally, let's sort the red and blue chips. They join the original input belt here, also with input priority. Whatever better quality products we got from recycling need to be handled here. We need 2 machines to process the green quality materials. They come in such big numbers that 1 machine is not enough. Due to the probabilistic nature of the recycling process, we always need a buffer chest with designs like this, otherwise the incoming belt will quickly be blocked by random junk. We also need 3 more machines, 1 for blue quality, 1 for purple quality and 1 for legendary quality. The machine for legendary quality does not need quality modules, of course. We can instead use efficiency modules. The inputs for these machines also need to be filtered and buffered. We add some outputs. Oh, and here's the missing belt I mentioned earlier. Oops. As previously, I add memory cells, 1 for each quality. Let's hook the input belt up and the items are slowly being sorted and the first green quality modules are starting to be produced. One pro tip. I do not recommend to process any blue or purple materials yet. Instead, I would wait until I have at least blue quality modules available for this. I want the chance for higher quality output to be as high as possible. So let's temporarily remove these inserters and also get rid of these crappy modules. We don't really want to use them here. Oh, and during all my yapping, there accumulated already 32 green quality modules in our chest, which we immediately take and put to their best use. It's generally a good idea to put your highest modules into both your recycling machines and into your highest active production machine, in our case the green quality one. This way we optimize for the best possible recycling outputs and the best possible product quality. Also, during this early stage, we do not need the second EMP for green quality yet, so we can remove this inserter and also remove the crappy modules. Now that our recyclers and our green quality machine have better modules, we can also provide them to our lowest quality production array. This will increase the chance to get better quality from 12.5% to 16%. This might not sound much, but it yields 28% more quality products. Replacing modules can easily be done with an upgrade planner. Just configure the modules that you want to replace and then drag it over the machines. We can also get rid of any low quality modules by putting them into their respective chests. This will eventually lead to them being recycled. And just as I was stupidly standing around, 2 purple quality modules appeared. As it turned out, one of our lowest quality machines double-procced them. The probability for this to happen is 0.125% or 1 in 800. In a real playthrough, my time would now be probably spent better with managing other parts of my base, for example clearing biter nests or adding new space platforms. Only from time to time would I check back on this quality setup and reassign some modules. But for the sake of this video, let's do a bit more micromanagement and explain some concepts. So a few more minutes have passed and all of our machines have now at least green quality modules. So we can stop keeping them. We disable the logistic buffer and change this splitter to only filter for blue or higher quality. With all green quality modules now being recycled, will this greatly increase the production of blue quality ones. And here's another pro tip. It is a very good idea to add some safety measures to your recyclers. By explicitly excluding legendary quality from these input inserters, we can make sure that we do not accidentally destroy legendary items. Let's just say that this is a learning from someone who was at one time unknowingly destroying a lot of legendary biter eggs. Also, the first blue quality modules are accumulating in our storage, so it's about time to put them to good use. As usual, we start with the highest value production machine first. We are also getting more and more blue quality ingredients. Soon we can take the blue quality machine into operation. But let's first wait a bit longer and hope for better modules. Another few minutes have passed and we have our first 2 legendary modules. Let's find out where they came from. They're not from this green quality machine. By the way, this machine is sporting some really bad RNG right now. 40-1. That's just 2.5%, although it should be 21.4%. I guess that's the law of big numbers. It will even out eventually. But thankfully, this bad RNG is evened out by some very good RNG of the normal quality machines. They produced 2 purple and 2 legendary modules already. The chance to get a legendary proc here stands at 0.016% or 1 in 6,250. With this many high quality modules, it's finally about time to take the blue quality machine operational. To do so, we move the highest quality modules up from the green quality machine. This puts the blue quality machine already at a chance of 25.8% to get better quality. And as luck will have it, the second crafting cycle double procs and produces 2 purple quality modules. Slowly this factory gets going. We can also schedule an update to the recyclers from green to blue quality. And due to the increasing number of green quality ingredients, we should soon take the second machine into operation. Another few minutes have passed and all the recyclers have finally gotten their blue modules. We have also produced some more purple modules and can activate the second green quality machine. In total, our low quality machines have produced 1,500 modules over all qualities. This took 55 minutes so far. So we are not even 1 hour in and have already some legendaries. Let's finally update the modules in our lowest quality machines to blue quality. This will increase the chance to get better quality from 16% to 20%. This might also not sound much, but it is actually a 25% increase in yield, which will snowball all the way up. And while we are at it, let's also upgrade the recyclers once more. We have now finally accumulated enough purple quality ingredients that we can do some advanced micromanagement. We still don't have enough spare modules to want to take this machine permanently operational, but we can borrow our best modules for batches of single crafts. First, we pause the blue quality machine by removing its input inserter. Then we make sure to wait until the current crafting cycle has finished. If we remove the modules mid-craft, we will lose any chance to get better quality. The output will simply default to blue quality. We then transfer the modules into the purple quality machine and then add its input inserter. The contents of the buffer chest are inserted and the crafting process starts. This will result in one guaranteed purple quality module with a 26.5% chance to even get a legendary one. Unfortunately though, we only get purple quality. Finally, we transfer the modules back into the blue quality machine and re-add the inserter. This type of micromanagement is only really worth it for the very last stage, purple quality, if at all, and only if there's nothing of more importance to do in your base, of course. Roughly half an hour has passed and we finally have blue quality modules in every machine. We also have 2 more legendaries. Additionally, we accumulated 18 blue quality modules while I was AFK, which we can now recycle. This will greatly increase the production of purple quality. We then take our 2 new legendary modules and repeat our previous game of micromanaging the purple quality machine, but again do not have success. Only a few minutes later we complete the top row with purple quality and can now schedule our lowest quality machines for an upgrade. This might seem expensive to put 60 purple modules here, but it increases the chance to get better quality from 20 to 23.5%. This will yield 17.5% more quality items. Half an hour later, and we have finally replaced all blue quality modules with purple ones. This means we can finally recycle any future ones. Here's another pro tip. We should recycle purple quality items preferably only with recyclers which have legendary quality modules. To do so, we first adjust our recyclers and move our 4 legendary modules to the very end of the line. Then we configure the first 5 inserters to only pick modules of blue or lesser quality. This way, our precious purple quality modules will only be recycled with maximum quality chances. And as we can see here, right, our very first recycling process yields some legendary ingredients, enough to finally start our first legendary module craft. We have now replaced all purple modules with legendary ones in the top row and can now proceed to our last and final upgrade, replacing all purple modules in the lowest quality machines. This will require 60 more legendary modules and it will take approximately 2 hours. But it will increase the probability to get better quality one last time from 23.5 to 31%. This is a whopping 31.9% increase in yield, which of course will snowball all the way up and increase our overall production of legendaries. If we chain all these upgrades together, we went from a base probability of 12.5% with normal quality to 31% with legendary quality. That is a total increase of 148%, or 2.5-fold. After scheduling this upgrade, all I can do is wait until it's complete. And it's finally done. All modules are legendary and the factory can produce with full capacity. It took a total of 10,500 normal quality modules crafted to achieve this. This equates to about 6.5 hours. As mentioned previously, you would normally not babysit this design for 6.5 hours straight. And for this video, I could luckily speed up the game during the waiting periods. But now let's do one final test, benchmarking the design. This is the time tool of the editor. Here I can let the game run for an exact amount of time. For example, if I enter 60 here and press play, the game will run for exactly 60 ticks, which is 1 second. Now let's enter 2,160,000, which is exactly 10 hours. With the game speed set to 64x, it will shorten this to roughly 10 real-life minutes. I also emptied the storage chest and reset the memory cells. Let's see how many legendary quality modules this factory spits out. And go! And it's done. Now let's see how many modules do we have. 257. That's 26 per hour, so almost exactly the 27 I estimated at the beginning with my rule of thumb. We can now take a look at the distribution across the different machines by reading their respective memory cells. The 12 normal quality machines produced a total of 16,200 modules. The qualities we got are these. But there's one more important metric. Let's take a look at the distribution of legendary items across the different quality machines. Our machines for normal quality produced 2 legendary items. Those for green quality produced 11, for blue quality 29, purple quality 126, and for legendary quality 89. This shows that half of our total legendaries come from the purple quality production machine alone. And only a good third of our total legendaries were actually produced from legendary ingredients. This is something very important to keep in mind, because we will make great use of this in the upcoming episodes. This distribution enables us to basically upcycle multiple important items at once and with great efficiency. Lastly, I need to emphasize that this quality module design is nothing more than an easy to build starter design. It won't live long. Very soon we will have access to legendary holmium. For example, just 100 legendary holmium plates can be turned into 550 legendary superconductors, which then can be turned into a whopping 825 legendary quality modules, the equivalent of more than 30 hours of production of this design. But in the next episode, we will first make this design even more productive while simultaneously claiming more than a third of the legendary modules invested into it back. How? I'll show you next time. You can find the blueprint of this design in the video description. If you like this content, please leave a like and hit subscribe. Thanks and bye.